Oil pushes higher and China may soften the impact of sanctions on Russia. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Oil is once again surging as the Kremlin cast doubt on the progress of peace talks with Ukraine. Crude rallied after the Kremlin said a report of major progress in negotiations over Ukraine is actually wrong. However, Russia says the discussions will continue. Oil is still set for a second weekly loss after another tumultuous period of trading that's seen West Texas Intermediate swing over $9 in 3 sessions. Concerns about virus lockdowns in China are also impacting the market. Top American officials reportedly see signs that China is seeking ways to soften the blow of sanctions imposed on Russia by the U.S. and its allies. Reports of people with knowledge of deliberations in Beijing says China may be able to offset the economic consequences of the sanctions. President Biden is set to speak by phone with President Xi tonight. Biden is expected to try to persuade Xi to back away from any support for President Putin and his war. Ferrari is suspending its partnership with Moscow-based security software maker Kaspersky. Ferrari says it's removed Kaspersky's logo from its F1 cars, drivers' helmets, and online platforms as the partnership is paused due to a joint decision taken by the two companies. Ferrari said on March 8th that it would donate $1.1 million to humanitarian projects supporting Ukraine. It also suspended its operations within the Russian market. For the third time in a row, the Bank of England announced a 0.25 percentage point increase in its main interest rate, taking borrowing costs to 0.75%. The decision comes on the back of the UK's current inflation rate of 5.5%, which is already way above its 2% target. The UK central bank warned inflation could rise higher this year, and the latest monetary policy would support sustained growth and employment in the country. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett continues to aggressively buy shares of energy company Occidental Petroleum. Buffett purchased an additional 18 million shares of the energy company for nearly $1 billion in the first 3 days of this week. Shares of Buffett's investing conglomerate Berkshire Hathaway are up 13% in 2022 and sit near record highs. Some of his biggest holdings continue to outperform despite surging volatility this year. And that brings us to today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking, where Buffett was the third biggest gainer overnight. Buffett's wealth increased $3.4 billion to $124.8 billion since yesterday. Meanwhile, our biggest winner today is Elon Musk, up $7.5 billion to $237 billion. And our second place winner is Jeff Bezos, up $4.1 billion with net wealth of $183 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest Billionaires news. The IMF will send delegations to Lebanon and Tunisia this month to advise on new financial aid packages for the countries. Both nations are seeking IMF agreements to support their crisis-hit economies. The IMF says discussions with the Lebanese government are progressing, but extensive work is needed as Lebanon's challenges are deep and complex and require time and commitment. In Tunisia, the IMF loan program is meant to save an economy suffering low growth, high public debt, inflation, and unemployment. 35 pharmaceutical companies have signed agreements to produce generic versions of Pfizer's oral COVID-19 antiviral medication Nirmatrelvir to bring the treatment to low and middle income countries. The agreement grants manufacturers in 12 countries the ability to produce the raw components of the drug or the finished version packaged with the antiretroviral medication Ritonavir. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration granted emergency use authorization to Pfizer in December for a combination of the two drugs. Cat lover Zaid Al-Sharbaji has started a self-funded initiative in Amman to provide bags of food for the city's stray felines. The bags are filled by Al-Sharbaji and dropped off at stores and cafes where they can be picked up by shoppers for free. He calls himself the Cat Guardian of Amman. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.